So I'm just gonna speak my mind in this video. I don't care if it offends people. I don't really care if it pisses people off. I'm just gonna speak my mind because I think I was right. I feel vindicated in a sense because a lot of the predictions that I made dating back years ago on some of my videos, I mentioned it mostly privately with my friend group. I had a feeling, there's a bad feeling about the game. I had a feeling it was gonna be like more of like a Watch Dogs 2 GTA hybrid, if anything. And according to the trailer, if I'm just being completely honest, if we're talking about just stuff related to the story, stuff related to dialogue, stuff related to like the actual meat and potatoes of the game, the things that people will remember the game for, it doesn't feel like a GTA game. Everything else is fine. Everything else that Dan Houser and Leslie Benzies and et cetera, aren't responsible for, those parts of the game will be great, right? Those games will be probably better than ever. The map looks amazing, the graphics looks amazing, the character models look amazing, the car models look amazing, the driving looks a little heavier than GTA 5, which is actually a good thing. I genuinely do not like the driving in GTA 5. I much preferred the GTA 4 driving. But when it comes to the story, when it comes to the dialogue, I think my feelings were right. I think my predictions were almost on point because I noticed in the trailer there was not much of an emphasis at all on either of the characters. It was all about, oh, look at the crazy game, look at all these NPCs, look, Florida man crazy, crocodile in a fucking outlet gas station, which, by the way, totally happens every day. I live here in Florida. There really is, like, dude, some parts of Florida are actually crazy with the crocodiles, but hey, that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is that the whole focus of the trailer was scarily Far Cry-like. It was scarily Watch Dogs-like. It was less of an emphasis on the story, more of an emphasis on just the world the story takes place in. And I don't have a good feeling about that. It's the first trailer for the game, right? Now, I've spoken to someone who thinks that maybe they intentionally made the trailer, scarce of story details intentionally, just so they could then deliver it on a second trailer, which to me sounded like a little bit of copium here. But I don't know, man. I vividly remember the first time I ever seen the first GTA 5 trailer. It was different. There's something different about this game, and I don't think they're very confident in the story, because you would think they would start the game with a monologue or something related to one of the characters, but it was literally just all about flash, glamour, and fancy fucking graphics, and haha, hee, look at Florida crazy, that kind of stuff, which, by the way, I don't know if it's just me as a Floridian, but the whole Florida is crazy trope is played out. It's been played out for a couple of years. If this was some alternate universe where Red Dead 2 never existed and GTA 6 came out in 2018, they would be kind of like right at the peak of the Florida man crazy trend. But let's be real here. Look, this shit's coming out 2025. Likely, people say, it'll be, March 2025. I think it'll be delayed until like November, to be honest, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, if they need time to make the game better or to improve some element of it or change something, I don't really mind, as long as the game comes out and is good. Which, speaking of which, I think this game will be good in a traditional video game sense. And what I mean by this is like, well, Rockstar has never really missed when it came to the map, to the physics, to the graphics, to just everything else, right? Even story, technically story, because Dan Houser has been writing every game, except for this one, ironically enough. So I'll like to see how the story plays out in this game. But in a traditional sense, this will be a good game. I mean, if it's only $70, and I say that because this game looks massive, it looks like a big fucking deal. If it's only $70, I don't see a problem with buying it, to be honest. But as a Rockstar title, I am worried. Okay, if you compare this, when this game comes out, everyone who is fans of Rockstar story modes or just fans of the narrative in general, they're going to buy the game, and after the honeymoon phase wears off, they're going to sit there and say to themselves, we waited 12 years for this? Because I don't think the story will have as much staying power as GTA 5 story did or GTA 4 story did, and I think people will have issues with mission design just like how they had issues with RDR2's mission design, and I think people are going to have an issue with the dialogue. Because from the dialogue I've heard in the leaks, from the shit I've heard in the trailer so far, what little dialogue there actually is, it doesn't sound like other Rockstar titles. It doesn't almost has a bit of like a Netflix style dialogue to it, if that makes any sense. It doesn't feel very authentic. When Dan Houser worked on these games, he had like a way about him when it came to his ability to write dialogue, where things sounded natural. Things sounded kind of like a Quentin Tarantino movie where the acting, he would not let a scene pass if the scene seemed unnatural, that kind of shit, right? With this game, I could only really see the dialogue sounding mid at best. And I don't say that as like a hater. I don't say that as someone who wants the game to be this way. I say it as a realist, man. The dialogue I heard in the fucking leaks were pretty bad. Not Watch Dogs 2 level bad. I mean, that shit is actually literally cancer. There are a lot of games with dialogue that's so bad it's like not even passable. This game won't be that bad in terms of that, but it'll still be corny enough for people to notice. And that's been kind of one of my main concerns for a while, aside from the online mode being horrendously monetized or horrendously designed to maximize profits while also wasting players' time, much like Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online with their whole grinding system. But before this video ends, I also want to bring up that there is a silver lining to all of this, right? According to some of the things that I've seen, according to what I've heard, there might actually be plans to have single-player expansions. And if that comes back, if like the GTA 4 style episodic content comes back, I'm all for it. Really. I can imagine, maybe this is just copium, maybe this is just me trying to kind of assume the best here. I could totally see an episode coming out for this game that takes place in the 80s. The main game might be modern day, but I could totally see a fucking episode coming out where it takes place in the 70s and 80s. And if that happens, I swear to God, I will pay. I don't care how much money they fucking charge. If they come out with good-ass single-player DLC, I will fucking pay top dollar for it. Especially if it's good. So I'm going to put that out there right now. If the base game is mid, but the DLC is good, I'll buy it. But to be completely honest with you, and like I said in the very beginning of the video, I'm going to be completely transparent, completely honest. I'm not opposed to getting the game. I'm not opposed to, buying it and playing it. But I don't feel, a rush to get it when it comes out. I don't feel a rush to pre-order it. To be completely honest, I don't really care all that much about it. To me personally, a lot of the mysticism that surrounded Rockstar Games and a lot of that, like, just overall general hype that has surrounded the company, it kind of lost its charm on me, if that makes any sense. So I judge any Rockstar title like I judge any other game, really. I don't have a bias against them. At least not one that's too strong. I don't have a bias for them either. I used to. But as I said, I don't really feel a rush to buy it when it comes out. If it looks overwhelmingly good, fuck, I'll go in and pre-order it. If it looks genuinely 10 out of 10 amazing, sure, I'll go out of my way to go buy it, but I'm not really hyped. And to be completely honest, the way I feel now, it's like I don't really feel any hype, and that's kind of why when they tweeted that picture and they basically announced the first trailer date, I literally didn't feel anything. When I watched the trailer, I didn't feel anything. I just kind of looked at it objectively without emotion, and I kind of didn't really feel anything about it. I don't know how to word it. I don't know how to word it to make it sound relatable or understandable. It just, I don't know. I'll see when trailer 2 comes out if they focus a little more on the story. I hope they do. I want to genuinely get a good sense of like where this is at, because as I said in the video earlier, like my main concern is just if this shit comes out and it's not like other Rockstar games and it's tremendously different to a point where like the writing is off or just the narrative is off or some shit. If it seems like a watered down GTA experience, that's gonna probably suck. And if that's the case, it's probably not gonna be as fondly remembered as 4 was or as 5 was or as like, the 3D GTA games were. I just hope it'll be good. I might just make another video in the future. I mean, I don't feel enticed to make another GTA 6 video, But if I do, I'll make like another prediction video or some shit, and I'll kind of like try to predict some stuff, because I have certain feelings with the game. I've had the same feelings for a while now, where it's just like I get a weird feeling in my gut when I think about the game, and it's not excitement. It's not like, oh my god, this game will be bad type stuff. It's more along the lines of, I got a weird feeling. It just feels weird. It feels different, and it doesn't really feel like it'll be very GTA-like. Now, one last segment here before I go in and end the video here. What we do know about the story, it may be just like a generic Bonnie and Clyde kind of story, and if that's the case, it's kind of destined to be one of the weaker entries in the story, in the franchise's story modes at least. I hope there's a little more to it, but let's be completely honest here. If we're comparing this to what GTA 6 could have been, 80s, 70s fucking Narcos shit, like, it's night and day. Maybe that's why I'm so jaded. Maybe that's why I don't really have a good feeling about it, because what this game could have been way more. But yeah, modern day Miami, Bonnie and Clyde story, I could not, if I was a writer, I could not pull it off. I could not make that a good story at all, personally. And I don't think anyone really could. I mean, they're gonna have to like count their lucky stars here and fucking hope this actually comes out good. If the writers that are working on this are not like seasoned fucking veterans that know what they're doing. But anyways, that's it for this video. I'll try to make another one, like I said earlier. I'll try to make another GTA 6 video, just prediction-wise, or maybe I'll make another one when the second trailer comes out. Let's hope the game is good. Fingers crossed. I want something to play when it comes out. So yeah,